How do you see this one playing out, Rushan? Because Malaysia have to go for it from the off.
Yeah, they do. They certainly do. This Malaysian side, they have to go for it, but at the same time, it's not going to be a situation where you want to take too many risks too early on and open yourselves up to opportunities to lose out on the counter-attack and give Indonesia those opportunities in those counter-attacking situations, because there's plenty of pace in this side. You look at Irfan Jaya and Rumakiak in those wider positions. They have got pace to burn. Witan Sulaiman just playing in just behind Ezra Walian in these phases out of possession. So it's almost like they set up in this 4-2-3-1 off the ball, and perhaps when they are in possession it'll be a 4-4-2 somewhat, with Witan Sulaiman given that license just to drop off in spaces in behind this Malaysian midfield. It's going to be so important for Badrol, who's shielding that defense, the number 8, the veteran in there, to make sure he's keeping track of the spaces that Witan Sulaiman is looking to go and try and push himself into, because he could be a player that causes lots and lots of issues for this Malaysian side if he's given space to turn in behind that Malaysian midfield.
How impressed were you with the discipline shown by Indonesia? As we come back to that in a minute, here's Ezra Walian. Because they changed things up, didn't they? And they largely kept Vietnam quiet.
Yeah, and that was really good to see. You know, I think they understood what they were up against. So there's a humility there. There was respect for what Vietnam are capable of. But you know, there wasn't any fear from Indonesia. They knew that, you know, we're not perhaps at that level yet. As the cross comes in, bit of a shaky moment early on for Junior Elstal.
Yeah, he's just back in the lineup. Remember, he started the very first game against Cambodia, hobbled off, and has been restored to the starting lineup today as that comes flashing across the goal. And this man, Pratama, remember, he was injured in this first game. He was replaced by Edo Febriansha, but he's come back in and has been excellent.
Yeah, wonderful driving run. The 19-year-old, they've got 2 young players on that left-hand side. Incredible talent coming through this Indonesian squad. It's close, isn't he?
Not far away at all. It's a great start to this game. Listen to that noise. Absolutely fantastic. And Roshan, over the years, Malaysia, Indonesia always gets the pulses racing, doesn't it?
Wonderful rivalry these two sides have, and the stakes are high here, you know, just adds to the occasion. And what I love about Malaysian and Indonesian fans that have come out, and even the Vietnamese fans who have come out in support of their sides, as they've made themselves heard. You know, they've created a wonderful atmosphere. It's not like they just come in to sit down and watch a game of football. They've come in to participate and be a part of the football match. So it's been incredible, and I really, really salute the fans that have come out to support their sides.
Yeah, they're here to be part of the spectacle, aren't they? And that's the great thing. As they come forward here with Irfan, Indonesia out wide to Ezra Walian. They'll get a corner of Shami Safari.
Yeah, I think just very quickly go back to the display that they put up against Vietnam. Very different. You know, it was more of a defensive side to Indonesia, and we're used to seeing them, as you see Ezra Walian breaking free down this right-hand side. That cross coming off Shami Safari. We were used to seeing Indonesia in the first 2 matches in this competition be very aggressive, very attacking, very direct, look to try and get the ball forward quickly. But against Vietnam, we saw a different side to them. Defensively aggressive, sitting deep, being compact, and fighting all the way towards that point. Good flexibility that a young team has shown, and discipline in that game.
Yeah, I think that was something that really endeared them to a lot of fans. Doesn't kind of find me safe hands. He's been very good in those sort of situations. Well, I've said that. He completely fumbled it. And he's given away a corner here.
Yeah, what's happened there? I mean, I took my eye off the ball because I was looking upfield. Well, he catches it there and then just lets it slip.
Roshan, just as well, he was not in front of the goal.
That's right, that's right. Fortunately for him. Well, nerves in this Malaysian defense. And the thing is, coming into this game, everyone was saying Malaysia the more experienced side and should have that experience, but doesn't seem to be the case very early on anyway.
Will they profit from this? Alfiandra Dewanga heads that well over. Now remember, of course, Indonesia are handicapped coming into this tournament. They're only allowed to pick 2 players from any one club in their league because it is ongoing at the moment. This is something that they experienced in 2016, by the way, which they went all the way to the final, despite that so-called handicap. But they have been pretty good value up till now. Here is Junior Elstal, restored to the back line. Of course, he was playing defensive midfielder in the first game. Kogliswaran Raj, his first start in this tournament. Now Shafiq, out wide to Arif. Arif's done well here. Twisting in and out, Asnawi.
Yeah, he's the next big star of Malaysian football, isn't he? Arif Aiman, you can see the quality that he has and how dangerous he can be running at defenders. And twisted and turned. Asnawi inside out here. Wonderful footwork. Credit to Asnawi for recovering, getting the ball out for a corner at least.
He almost didn't make the squad, Roshan. Arif Aiman. He was picked very, very late, wasn't he? Coach felt he had too much football in him. He's still a young man. Trying to get the shots away. It's a good response here from Malaysia. Now, Badru Bakhtiar's down, touching his nose, it looks like.
Now, what's interesting to me is we've had a couple of errors early on at being made by experienced players. Just see another look at this opportunity as Fakhruddin panics a little bit, just tries to make sure he gets it away out of play. Anywhere will do.
It was Ezra Walian, wasn't it, who fell on, or elbow perhaps even, on Badru Bakhtiar. He's just going off for some treatment.
And I don't think there was any intent in that.
And that was arrowing in, isn't it, to the near post. Look at the pace of Ramai Rumakek, look at that! He has stormed that run, and the pressure he was putting on Dion Cools, the new man in, of course, and Rizal Ghazali. Wonderful pace.
Yeah, excellent work by Ramai Rumakek. Wonderful acceleration there to put the pressure on Rizal.
Well, that's a poor ball from Karufami. Well, no foul given by the referee. The pace of this game, the intensity in these first 8 minutes, brilliant. Junior Elstal with an important couple of challenges there for Malaysia. You cannot take your eyes off this at the moment. Arif Aiman, he's got pace to burn. Dewanga comes across after the Dewanga, who was superb, man of the match in that game against Vietnam.
This is absolutely living up to the pre-game hype. The tempo, the intensity is incredible. Challenges flying in. Nobody wanting to lose possession of the ball, even if they don't have it. Want to get it back straight away. You saw Junior Elstal come in with a couple of crunching challenges.
This is what the AFF Suzuki Cup's all about. It really is. Shadi Safari now. Kogliswaran Raj. Little triangles here. We can tell you there is already a goal in the other game. Vietnam have made it 1-0. Nguyen Tien Linh, and this is how it looks. So, Indonesia know they need to get, well, actually, as it stands right now, they're through. But to be absolutely safe, of course, they know that Malaysians will come at them. And that is an early breakthrough for the Vietnamese. Remember, they've got a few goals tonight, just in case. There's the man who has just joined the side tonight, Faisal Halim, who was out with COVID, and Tan Cheng Ho, the Malaysian coach, had said having him will just add more bite in that midfield and attack. He's got Akia on the bench as well. Later on, should he need. Another one he was very happy to have back. two Indonesians are down. Ricky Kambuaya is one. Kogineswaran is also down at the moment. And is there going to be a problem? Rahmat Arianto is another one.
And a second ball again, it's physicality. Ricky Kambuaya going into a challenge with Kogineswaran. Like, I think it's one of those both players have got to go for that. It's a 50-50 challenge.
Well, we know that that game last night, Roshan, was kind of marred a bit, wasn't it? Two fairly significant injuries in the first 10-15 minutes. Kind of took the sting out of things, didn't it? The game was very stop-start.
Yeah, it was, and that can disrupt the rhythm of matches, obviously, but hasn't seemed to be much of a disruption here.
Badru Bakhtiar with this free kick for Malaysia. Alfrenda Devanga got the final touch on that. Corner for Malaysia. Dion Cools come in from Midtjylland in the Danish league. I tell you what, he's played Champions League football, Russian, in terms of there are more and more players now, of course, applying their trade overseas. That has to be right up there, isn't he? The quality.
The incredible quality and experience as well. A big boost to Malaysia, especially in those defensive positions, and the expectation here with Shahrul Saad and Aidil Zafwan picking up injuries in that game against Vietnam. It was always the case that Dion Cools would come in and be a big post in central defence.
Managed to get that clear. Now this is where they can be very dangerous. That pass a little too heavy. He's still going. Irfan, another very, very quick player. Witan Sulaiman, was he brought down there by Dion Cools? Shin Tae-yong is having a real go at the fourth official.
Yeah, you can see exactly what he's complaining about. He's saying there was a tug. There was a tug there from Dion Cools on Witan Sulaiman. The game is so open at the moment, and it's incredible. I mean, listen, I think there was some doubt about whether Indonesia would come out and really attack this Malaysian side. We're seeing that they are. You know, it's not a case of them just sitting back.
You know what, Shin Tae-yong addressed that, didn't he, as that force of Kogineswaran Raj. Oh, he's got the shot in! What a goal that is! Kogineswaran Raj has opened the scoring for Malaysia out of the blue.
That's a superb finish from Kogineswaran. What a start for Malaysia here. A quick throw and an intelligent run in behind from Shafiq Ahmad that really starts it off. It's a poor clearance, you could say. And perhaps if you want to be hypercritical here, you can say it is slow to close down that shot from range, Rahmat Irianto. But that is pure quality. Wonderful camera angle on that replay. Kogineswaran, take a bow. What a finish.
Well, he had a superb celebration for his first ever international goal just a few days ago, and look at that one. His second of this tournament. And it's got the Malaysian fans really celebrating in the stands. And there was a goal coming, just felt it. The way this has opened up, and it could be another chance here, Ezra Walian. Well, they just seem to switch off a little bit there, Malaysia. Always a bit vulnerable, aren't you, after you score?
Yeah, wonderful response from Indonesia. Again, it's Witan Sulaiman dropping into these areas. It's what I spoke about at the start of this match. They're going to have to keep an eye on him because he's got that freedom to just drop in behind Malaysia's midfield. It's in those areas.
This time, he does grab hold of the ball and gets to distribute it quickly. Karol Fami, who was part of the 2010 side, the only player left that has won the AFF Cup. Look at Arif Aiman. He's giving a bit of a torrid time, isn't he? Punch clear by Nadio. It's still alive, here's Safawi. haven't said his name yet in this match. And he's been one of the outstanding players.
Yeah, listen, Fakhruddin, as the most experienced defender in that back line, has got to have a word with his younger teammates here. You got a 19-year-old at left back. You got a 20-year-old in Alfeandra alongside him. He's got to be talking to them, making sure they're organized. And guys, yes, don't get carried away. We want to go and attack. We need to get the goal now. As you see with this table here, Malaysia having taken the lead, moving up to second in the standings in Group B. That means Malaysia are going through as it stands. Indonesia are the ones who need to chase this. But we don't want to let the game, and I'm speaking from Fakhruddin's point of view, him saying we don't want to let the game run away from us. There's plenty of time still. Settle down, let's make sure.
Remember how calm they were and how disciplined they were, Roshan, against Vietnam.
Yeah.
Very, very different sort of game, of course. As they come forward here, Witten, just a bit of a heavy touch from him. Look at that. Ramai went in hard. It's a booking. Rizal Ghazali has rolled around a bit there. It did look a pretty late challenge.
Yeah, you'd think. It was well late into that one. That is a nasty one. And he's in a world of pain here, Rizal. And I'm wondering if he, because it's a standing leg, and you looked at the impact, and you looked at the angle in which Rumakek came smashing into him. There's always a concern there with the knee ligaments. And Tan Cheng Ho in his standard outfit, his trademark white shirt, black pants, folded up sleeves.
Had a good chat with him.
Oh, have a look at this goal again. I mean, Kogileswaran, his anticipation of where the ball could potentially drop for him to have a shot at goal, but still the technique to execute from range like that. And he doesn't drive through it, he kind of actually side foots it, wraps his foot around the ball, and gets enough of that curve to beat Nadeo, guiding it towards the far post.
Also, you saw Irfan's clearance there. He wasn't under any particular pressure, was he? When he passed that ball, when he tried to clear it, it went into the path of Kogileswaran Raj. Just seemed a little panicky in the build up to that goal. Oh, look at that. A little tug down Irfan. The referee has let that play on. Looked like Shami just tugged on Irfan, but he's got so much pace about him.
Yeah, I tell you what that tug on Irfan just did. He slowed it down a little bit, forced him wider, so running directly in behind that defense, and gave Badrol an opportunity to come across and help out Shami.
Oh, he's done well here, Ramai. Anywhere away from goal is fine for Malaysia. Dion Cools talking to his defence there.
He's a player I really like, that man in your shot right there, Ricky Ricardo Cambuaya, to give him his full name.
So good, they named him twice, Roshan.
He's got wonderful energy from midfield, and quality on the ball as well.
Now this is a weapon they used a couple times, didn't they, Partama? Was there a foul? No one's really asking for it on Ramai. Well, two men down, by the way. And Malaysia are continuing. Look at Shin Tae-yong is going right up to the fourth official.
Wow, I think he's got a case here. I think I can completely understand why he's going ballistic at the fourth official, and why his coaching staff have stepped up off the bench in support of him. Because I looked at it and I thought, wow, take your pick, because the first one, Badrol there is contact. I think it's Ramai Rumakiak initially, and then the second one, definitely as he falls over. Just have a look here, Rumakiak. Badrol leaves the leg in. There's contact there. And then this one from Pratama. I mean, if he's not going to give the first one, which would have been a penalty, the second one is a definite foul for me.
Faisal Halim there with that second foul. as Roshan mentioned, but there was definitely a shout, wasn't there, for a penalty. We had a penalty in that particular box that was contentious as well. Thailand beating the Philippines 2-1. That led to the second goal.
Well, just have a look at this again, and yeah, it's an air shot the first time, but look, Badrul's late with that challenge. It should have been a penalty the first time, and the referee's right there for the second one. I can't believe he's not given anything.
Well, it's good to see Ramai is fine, but there was a shout, and you can completely understand Shin Tae-yong's reaction.
Yeah, and all he's asking is why. He's asking why. Give me a reason why. Why didn't you give that? What's happening?
Like a little bit more than why, though. But
well,
yes,
I can't really say more than the why, can I?
That's true.
On air. I'll let you know exactly what he said at halftime.
You can tell me at halftime what you thought of that.
Yeah. Once we've got the mics off.
60% or so possession with Malaysia. Shin Tae-yong is he's not a quiet man. It was very interesting to watch him and Park Hang-seo the other day. It was very entertaining, the two of them. They were having a real go at each other, the two Koreans. Yeah,
no issues with the language as well.
And there's Korean officials that day. As we see Faisal Halim come forward. Alfredo Dewanga clears. Junior Elster, will it be under a bit of pressure here? Shani Safari gets it away up to Kogeshwaran Raj. It's just a little frustration coursing through this Indonesian team that things are not going their way.
Yeah, at times I think a little bit over enthusiastic in certain challenges, where perhaps they can just afford to slow it down a little bit, be a bit more patient in certain situations. This is the danger man for Malaysia. That's really good defending by Asnawi. Can hang on to the ball here.
It's interesting, isn't it, Roshan?
Done very well.
So much of so much of the best stuff, excuse me, from Malaysia's come down the left-hand side today. And we've barely mentioned Safawi tonight.
Yeah, and you know, with Safawi as well, what's interesting for me is he's one of the leading scorers in the competition. Joint top scorer, I think, with 4 goals. But he hasn't had the best of seasons domestically.
Correct.
He didn't have the best of seasons domestically. It was Arif Aiman who stole the show in Malaysia on the domestic front this season. Lovely ball up towards Irfan. Looking up for targets. Irfan to the top of the box. Ramai, I should say. Just couldn't get the ball from his feet. That's given away to Rahmat Irianto. Witan Sulaiman. Sting taken out of that shot. I love the fact we're midway through this first half and the intensity has not dropped. I've just kept quiet there. I was taking a moment to catch a breath.
It is one of those games, isn't it? Reminder, in that other game, at the moment, it is 1-0 to Vietnam. They were overwhelming favourites for that one anyway. Good perseverance by Kogeshwaran Raj. Look at the key man, Safawi. Is that going to be a penalty? Big prize there as well. Not given.
Oh, again, that's another close one. He was in behind. Wonderful work by Safawi. Great acceleration, showing his power and pace to get in behind there. Arms were up in his back from Alfiandra. Oof. I tell you what.
Are you a fan of this whole evening out theory?
They even themselves out.
Yeah. That doesn't help with the fans, does it? They just want to get what's right. They want to get the penalty, don't they? Flag stays down. Still alive here. Another dangerous moment there for Malaysia.
You know what, I'll tell you what, if the referee, it's probably playing on his mind a little bit.
Yeah.
The fact that he didn't give a penalty or even a free kick to Indonesia early on. I think if he had given a penalty there, and we've seen them given in those situations, you could argue perhaps Safawi goes down a little bit too easily, just feels a bit of an arm. But if you've got your arm out there, you're pushing a player in the back, the referee's well within his rights to give it as a penalty, but there would have been absolute pandemonium.
Look at that, another long throw from Pratama. Here's Irfan. Lofted into the box. Ezra Walian got a little bit of contact on it, and they get it clear through Dio Cools. Oh, lovely turn from Pratama. Still Pratama. Well over in the end.
Yeah, his throw-ins are phenomenal.
He only used it a couple times in the last few matches. And it just creates problems, doesn't it?
Yeah, a good turn away from Kogileswaran here. Pratama. It's good energy, really good energy in Indonesia's play early on. Yeah, Safawi driving past Alfiandra, and again, look. Is that one of the ball boys actually appealing for a Malaysian penalty?
Certainly made
There's
his feelings
a ball boy
known.
there, acting as one of the 5th or 6th officials that they've got these days if they don't have VAR.
That's what he thought about the decision.
Gripping contest. Even the ball boys are getting involved.
Oh, there is a bit of shaky defending. Shafiq's done well. Safawi's come onto this. Oh, Arif, excuse me. Arif again. Voted MVP this season in the Malaysian League. Best striker as well, most promising player. And he was still not picked for the Malaysian side originally.
Yeah, I mean, I think this Malaysian squad, when the selection was announced, there were a few question marks. There were a few discussions on social media amongst the Malaysian fans about why certain players were left out. But and I spoke to Junior Elstal recently and asked him what that was like, and he said, you know, it's an opportunity for the team to get together and show our doubters that we can do this for the country. We can progress, and if they do, they'll shut a lot of their critics up.
Absolutely.
And that can always give you that motivation, be that driving force for you to achieve something. Good play from Arif Aiman. Wonderful awareness of the situation there. Quick touch on away, inviting the challenge.
I think they've taken pains, Roshan, to at least have the show of unity in the Malaysian side. There's been a lot of speculation as to problems within the squad, and of course it doesn't help when a player reacts and throws a bottle into the ground and then another one makes a comment afterwards. But Tan Cheng Ho, he says he's only interested in picking the best players, the players that suit what he wants to do. You respect that. And similarly, Shin Tae-yong was asked why not bringing Ilya Spasojevic, who's got more goals than all the 4 strikers he's got in the current squad. He says he doesn't fit my system.
Yeah, well, to touch on your first point about Tan Cheng Ho and the Malaysian squad, you know, there are always things in football that we know happen behind the scenes that we can't necessarily address in the public space, in the public sphere. But he's selected a side that he feels can do the job, and it's up to the players to then respond to that. And there have been so many issues that they've come in here. They've been criticized for only selecting, what was it, 24 players?
Yes.
And then they were struck with
what looked to be a foul on Ramai, that Vietnam have got a second goal. Now the referee gives a free kick to Indonesia for the foul on Pratama by Koguswan Raj, and yeah, Vietnam looking pretty good. It's Tien Lin with his second of the match.
And as for Shin Tae-yong, I think when you're a coach that's coming, first of all, they've done an incredible job getting a manager, a head coach like Shin Tae-yong to come in. Incredible experience. As Tan Cheng Ho just directs traffic a little bit. He wants Malaysia to set themselves up a little bit higher here in this throw-in situation, try and force a turnover so they can transition quickly. A guy who's won the AFC Champions League, someone who's been a head coach at the World Cup, has beaten Germany. And you know, he's selected a young squad, and when you select a young team, they're kind of easier to mold in sort of your image and the way that you want to play.
Get them young, right?
Get them young and try and impart your values, your style, your tactics. And young players, they have a desire to improve and a desire to make a name for themselves, and they want to listen to you. Whereas sometimes with certain experienced players, they want to protect their position. They can be a little bit reluctant to sort of take too much on board, take on instructions. If they don't quite see how you can sort of help them improve, then they might just reject your suggestions in those situations. So ultimately, whatever squad you pick, it's up to you as the head coach.
Yeah.
If you can get the best out of them, if they can produce results, then you're seen as a success. And from what we're seeing from Indonesia at the moment, it looks good. I know they're losing this game. I know as it stands, they're headed out of the Suzuki Cup.
Yeah.
But this is an incredibly young squad.
Absolutely.
A very young side.
Here's Pratama again, and it is a useful weapon. Reminds me of a teammate of mine who used to do that, and it was also something that just players always seem to struggle with. Why is that? Why do they struggle with the throw-in? That's, I guess it has to be flat and fast, right? To just cause those sort of issues.
Well, first of all, I want to find out who this teammate of yours is. What level this is you're talking about.
No, this is very, there's nothing like your level, Rustam. Very, very social.
But yes.
He's actually watching this right now.
But yes, you look, the delivery is important. You're absolutely right to mention it's got to be flat.
Well, have a look.
It's like a driven pass. This is just incredible technique and distance, and well, obviously again, as I say that.
Not the best, but here's Irfan.
You remember, I don't know if Laos technical director V. Sundramuthi is watching this, but
yes, he used to.
He used to love a long throw-in when he was in charge of the Singapore national side.
Madu Mohana used to do that quite a bit. And see, what's interesting is he's employing it more than he has in any other match we've seen so far, Pratama. But it's clearly something that they feel will make Malaysia susceptible. Oh, look at that, right arrowed in at Ezra Walian. It's
incredible. You know who he kind of reminds me of is Ali Reza Berenvan, the Iranian goalkeeper, who basically launches it out with his arms. And he's got these. I think he holds a world record for
distance, is he?
Longest throw out.
10 points for Vietnam as it stands. Malaysia on 9, and that means those two sides would go through, and it would be Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand in the semi-finals. Malaysia, Thailand, of course, would be a repeat of the 2018 semi-finals, which ended in very, very dramatic circumstances when Hadisak missed a penalty right at the end of the match to put Thailand through. Taken quickly. Away by Cools. Down the line to Shafiq. Lots of discussions at the moment around the dugout there for Indonesia. Asnawi just trying to play that down the line, looking for Kambuaya. Moment for a breather. They're not going for Pratama, are they? Not this time.
Got to give those arms a rest.
Exactly. He had about 3 in succession, didn't he? Well, that's given away by Rahmat Irianto.
He looks tiny as well.
Oh, what a ball that is. The keeper is caught out there. Oh, that was just wide. Nadio had advanced. Shafiq.
Big chance for Malaysia to extend the lead. And Nadio shouldn't have come off his line yet. He shouldn't. Not the right decision for me, Nadio. You see where Shafiq is. It's wider away from the goal. It's too far out. He doesn't need to come out and leave his goal open and exposed. He had Fakhruddin there as well, covering that goal side angle. Fortunate for Indonesia that Shafiq just wasn't able to provide the finish in that situation.
A reminder, of course, that Nadio wasn't even supposed to be playing necessarily in this match because he only came in for the Vietnam game when Armando was hurt in the warm-up. But here come Indonesia again. Irfan. Good work by Faisal Halim. Is he through here? Witan Sulaiman. Squared it. Brilliant. Indonesia right back in there. Through Irfan.
Oh, they've deserved it. They've responded really well. And how big is that miss from Shafiq now? Indonesia have equalized. Wonderful move. Look at that, they're patient in possession. They pass it around, they wait for the right opportunity to arrive. Pick it up in midfield. He's onside. That's a wonderful run from Witan Sulaiman, looking right across that defensive line. He's aware of his position. He makes absolutely sure to keep himself onside. I mean, this pass and this leave from Rahmat. The first pass from Rahmat, that dummy from Ricardo Kambuaya. And then the finish in the end from Irfan Jaya. Look at how many players they had in those advanced positions.
It is amazing how noise has shifted from one side of the stadium to the other. And now it's the red half who are loving it. Nine minutes left, Roshan. I don't want this to end, I have to say.
Look, this
has been the best game for me so far.
Brilliant. Wonderful. I mean,
everything about it, right?
I know I'm being hyperbolic a little bit. Excuse me that. Forgive me for that, but I can't help myself. It's a credit to these two teams, the kind of football that they're playing at the moment. It's wonderful to watch, and the fans here have been just incredible as well.
Certainly played their part in what has been an absorbing contest, and this is the danger man, Ezra Walian. It was offside. We saw that a mile away, didn't we? We saw that about a second or two earlier.
Yeah, I had my imaginary flag up here in the commentary position already. I think the assistant referee.
So it's well done there, isn't it?
Well done from Junior. You know, he just leaves him. You know, it was coming in from into the stadium from the MRT. Well,
we'll just come back to that because here comes Rahmat Rumakek. He still go. Oh dear. Now, what's surprising is he's not one of those speedy winger types that has no end product, because we saw him score a beautiful goal in the very first game.
Well, Rizal Ghazali, I mean, it just doesn't know how to deal with that pressure, because Rahmat Rumakek has been so persistent and so quick. I mean, he gets his shot completely wrong. You can see he makes the wrong sort of connection on that. But he doesn't give you a moment to breathe. You want time on the ball, you're not going to have it when he's around.
Roshan, I'm a bit disappointed, I've got to say, in you. I'm still waiting for the hyperbole.
Which one? I've got like a library of them.
Well, more to come in a minute. Here's the corner. I think you were gonna talk about was it the match in general, the atmosphere?
Just the atmosphere around the stadium. You know, coming in, I was making my way in, and you had Malaysian fans and Indonesian fans outside the stadium, and you know, they were already singing and chanting outside, gathering, you know, in those situations, already creating that
sea of color,
energy and that vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and this is a game that in normal circumstances you would have full house, and this is a game that absolutely deserves that. Okay, the situation as it is doesn't allow for it, but the fans that are here are making themselves heard.
Yeah, it was a great decision, wasn't it, to put this game here at the National Stadium.
Yeah.
Having said that, you've already mentioned it earlier, the Vietnamese fans are brilliant as well. The Thai fans as well have made their presence felt. We've had Singapore here, they've had good crowds come in. It's been a great, and you know, against the backdrop of a pandemic, I think people have also been absolutely pent up to watch this kind of football, Roshan.
It's been wonderful. The fact that people can come together and celebrate football together, and you know, there's not been any sort of issues.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, there's rivalry. I'll come back to it.
Squared again, away by Cools, but Junior Elstal tries to slide it away. Here's Pratama. Straight at the keeper, Karul Fahmi. Well, I just had to relook at our stats here because Indonesia have had 11 shots. Malaysia have had 2.
Yeah, and I count the...
Well, this thing swings back and forth. As of now, Vietnam are through. Indonesia are second. Now remember, if Indonesia get another goal, it'll be interesting to see what happens. That equation changes again. Well, I'm sad to say there's 4.5 minutes left of this first half in a game that has absolutely lived up to its billing. Junior Elstal. Here's Shami Safari. Now Arif Ayman. Gone a little bit quiet, Arif. Irfan. He's been absolutely everywhere, hasn't he, Irfan?
I don't know what, they've all been everywhere.
That's true.
And in a good way. I mean, you know, it's not like they're running around like headless chickens. Look at that. I mean, Witan Sulaiman pressing there, trying to take the ball off Faisal. He gets a bit of help from Badrol. They're running non-stop here. Look at Ricky Kambuaya now leading the charge, leading the press. On his own.
Oh, he's done well there, really well. Ricky Kambuaya. Shin Tae-yong obviously felt that that was Indonesia throw-in. It's a bit calmer now. Oh, well, actually, as soon as I said that, what you're not seeing off camera is he just went a little...
I think he was shouting at Asnawi.
He was Asnawi, wasn't he?
Yeah. Wanted him to rip the ball out of the hands of the Malaysian player and get on with it.
Here comes Pratama. Still Pratama. He's ridden the challenge. Pratama. He's still going, Pratama. Can they finish this? Yes, they can! It's number 2 for Irfan and Indonesia.
Wonderful work again. Wonderful work. 19 years of age, Pratama. Look at this driving run. Straight through the heart of that Malaysian defense. Yes, they get a little bit fortunate, a couple of deflections going their way. But they've been at it since conceding. The response has been incredible. You know, we've been talking about mentality a lot. Yesterday we mentioned it with Singapore going a goal down to Thailand and then seemingly falling flat. We said, where was that mental response? We've seen it from Indonesia here, go a goal down. And they've said, okay, let's go again. We pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and we'll show you what kind of quality we've got.
Roshan, in the build-up to that goal, he's now got his third. Rizal Ghazali was just, it couldn't stop Pratama, could he? He's had a bit of a torrid time on that side, hasn't he?
It's so difficult for defenders at times when you've got confident players picking the ball up and just driving at you.
And I know you love a bit of cynicism. And you know where I'm going to go with this.
Oh, don't bring it up. Come on, we don't want to encourage that sort of play.
So that's a no, we shouldn't have?
Listen, the professional in me, or the ex-professional in me says definitely someone should have taken him down.
Yeah.
But it's not something I want to encourage because otherwise, you know, we don't see that beautiful side of the game.
Yeah, we wouldn't have seen that goal. Absolutely. Here is Irfan looking for a hat-trick in this game as he crosses for Ezra Walian. They are not done yet, the Indonesians. They want a goal or 2 more. And now on equal points with Vietnam, but ahead. We will get the statisticians on that one for you to show you how it stands.
I think the level on goal difference, if I'm not mistaken.
Which means that Indonesia go through having scored more. But listen, maths never our strong suit, Roshan. As we see the corner, deep one. Karel Fami, and they can't clear their lines here. There looked to be a foul in the box. Fakhruddin with the foul.
Great delivery from the corner here as well. Onto Fakhruddin at the far post. Yeah, don't ask me about mathematics, Shazad.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
just barely passed it.
Yeah, not one of my favorite subjects, I have to say.
O levels, and it's the reason why I'm sat here with you.
Yes. This is Ramai. Now Irfan. Witan. Indonesia also probably don't want things to end at the moment. The momentum that they've got.
Yeah, they've dominated this half. I mean, aside from Kogaleswaran getting a wonderful goal and big chance for Shafiq Ahmad, which couldn't convert. It's really been Indonesia.
So from my rudimentary maths, they're both on +7. Here's Ezra Walian. Gets up, or tries to get up quickly. Goal difference is the same, but Indonesia have scored far more goals than Vietnam. So as of now, I make it that they are top of the group. Safawi is clutching his shoulder.
He looks to be in trouble here, Safawi. So Alfiandra actually gets to the ball first. Safawi falls over him.
Yeah, that looked not very pleasant, I have to say. And the referee has called time on this first half. But not only are Malaysia down, Roshan, but they could be missing their star player in the second half. Who knows?
Doesn't look good, does it, for Malaysia? I mean, Safawi has been a threat in counter-attacking situations when they've been able to play the ball into him for space to try and exploit him behind this Indonesian defense.
Well,
look at that team spirit. Look at that team spirit.
Absolutely brilliant. And sum up, if you can, your thoughts on that brilliant first half.
Wonderful first half of football. Both these sides strong. Just sitting in front of that back three. And then Irfan Jaya, Witan Sulaiman and Ezra Walian. The three in those advanced positions.
So Malaysia have also made a change with Dominic Tan replacing Safawi. You saw him right at the end of the first half, clutching his shoulder. Looked a pretty bad injury for him. We hope he's okay, of course. But they've lost one of their star players, Malaysia, who's been enjoying himself in this tournament. It's been a good platform for him to sort of resurrect things. And he's replaced by Dominic Tan, who was born in Singapore, opted to play for the country of his parents' birth. As Malaysia gets a corner. So they've brought in a central defender each, Roshan, and Dominic Tan plays for Police Tero in Thailand.
We'll just see this shot from Ricky Kambuaya. Take a big deflection of Junior Elstal. So they just reshuffled it at the back. Dominic Tan will move into central defense alongside Junior Elstal. Because Safawi has gone off, they've moved Faisal out onto that left-hand side for the moment, it seems, and Dion Cools has pushed forward into central midfield, taking over Faisal's original position in that first half.
I was talking to Tan Cheng Ho the other day, and he was waxing lyrical about Dion Cools and the versatility he has. Straight at Karel Fami, who's looking to release as soon as he can. Here's Arif, who had some good moments in that first half.
Yeah, he's moved over to the right-hand side. He was enjoying himself in the first half, had a few good moments on the left-hand side. It was an interesting battle between him and Asnawi, actually. Arif now for this second 45 has moved over to the right flank.
Dion Cools looks across, thought about Arif as an option. Rizal Ghazali now to Arif, back to Cools. Cools just won the ball back there. Big man Cools. Clearance away by Asnawi. Well, Malaysia know they have to win this. They've got to score at least 2 more goals in this match. And they've lost one of their goal threats, the tournament joint top scorer in Safawi. Shafiq. Not the best of clearances. Elkan Baggett. 1.96. Low grass cutter, that one from Badrul Bakhtiar. Pretty straightforward for Nadio.
Malaysia early on seeing a bit more of the ball at the start of the second half. What an attempt from range there from Badrul. See that gap opening up for him to have a shot at goal. Dion Cools already pushing forward into midfield and having a bit more of an impact for Malaysia in those positions.
Well, we will confirm that what we were saying earlier, that Indonesia are currently top of Group B as it stands. If you're wondering why, they have scored more points, more goals, I should say, overall than Vietnam. The goal difference is exactly the same, and they drew their game 0-0. And that is put out of play. That should be a corner. So as it stands, Roshan, Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam.
Oof.
I don't think many people expected that one.
No, and again, I said this yesterday, you can't worry about what's going on in any of the other groups. You just got to take care of business yourself. You got to control what you can, see where that takes you, just get on with it.
Just saw Irfan rouse up the Indonesian crowd as he went to the corner flag. Crowds love that, don't they, when the players do that with them. So there's Elkan Baggett, 1.94 meters tall, mixed parentage, English and Indonesian. Plays for Ipswich under 23s. They flew him in for this. Had an issue with COVID, but all good now. Oh, what a shot that is! From distance! It dipped on Karel Fami! And Pratama has made it 3.
Wow, Pratama Arhan. He has been excellent for Indonesia. So positive with his play, so confident. This is technically such a brilliant strike. The way he hits it, and all the criticisms out there will be it's straight down the middle of the goal. Can't Karel Fami save that one? But it's the pace of the hit and it's the technique of that strike. You just have a look at how he hits it. He sets himself up. A late challenge comes in. He doesn't take his focus or eyes off the ball. Shafiq Ahmad with a challenge from behind, desperately trying to have an impact on Arhan. But have a look at the flight of that shot. And the reason why Karel Fami has stepped off his line there is he wants to try and close down the angles a little bit for that shot from range. But I don't think he expects Arhan Pratama to hit it that way with that sort of technique and that sort of dip that he was able to get.
They're coming forward in numbers here. Oh, and Ricky Kambuaya losing his footing at the worst possible moment. But Malaysia were stretched again.
What a good cushion Indonesia have now.
I was just about to say, Vietnam got a lot of work to do, don't they? If they want to finish top of the group. They have to score 2 more goals.
I mean, look, listen, still a long way to go in this game, still a long way to go in this competition, but I'm giving myself goosebumps just thinking about this. Could this Indonesian side
Go on.
be the ones who go on
To finally break that down.
finally win the AFF Cup trophy?
Yeah, reminder, as Roshan mentioned there, is referencing the fact that they finished runner-up 5 times. That is a record by a mile. 5 times runner-up in 2000, 2002, 2004, 2010 and 2016. They've been 3rd once in 1998, 4th another time in 1996, semis in 2008. They love getting to in the top 4, but they can't go beyond that. Eight out of the 12 times they have made it to the semis at least. But it's that extra step. And this was a side that probably not many would have thought would do it, Roshan. And yet here they are confounding the critics.
I just want to see how this develops, and I'll come back to that. Oh, ref's thrown his whistle there for a foul on Badrol. Well, I couldn't quite. I mean, come on, referee. How is that a foul?
Referee.
Has he booked him as well?
There has been a booking. There has been a booking. We'll have confirmation of that shortly. Malaysia now need 3 goals to go through here, and of course hope that Indonesia don't get any more. There's Dominic Tan. A lot of work to do here for Tan Cheng Ho in his 40th game in charge of Malaysia. He was part of the side that won that 2010 Cup. And he was the assistant. Witan Sulaiman. A cheeky back heel. It's away by Dominic Tan. It's a yellow card for Ezra Wallian that Roshan found puzzling.
Well, first of all, I don't even see how it was a foul. It's one of those coming togethers. Yes, he played the ball, and then Badrol made a challenge, and as he was putting his foot down, he perhaps made a bit of contact with him, but here comes one of those rockets.
Pratama, and they get it away pretty effectively this time. So, ball is stolen back here. Indonesia, Irfan for a hat-trick! Oh, he's pulled it just wide. And I'll tell you why that is an important miss, because Vietnam have just scored their 3rd. Getting a little bit closer.
Well, look at that, Rahmat Irianto, and the aggression in the pressing there. Badrol just wants far too much time on the ball. They win it here. That's wonderful work from that young man. And he's got that real old school look about him as well, with the jersey tucked in.
Well, it's all Indonesia, isn't it? This has carried on where it left off. Indonesia are still top by a goal. Win Quang Hai has scored for them there in the 56th minute, 3-0. It'll be interesting to see, would that message be passed along, do you think, Roshan, as Ricky Kambuaya there? He's just getting a bit of air. I think he got winded.
No,
do you think they'll just let them play?
No, you don't want to disrupt things on the pitch. They're going well. You don't want to, if things are going well, why do you want to input, thoughts and messages that could affect the emotional state of the players, the mental state of the players. And I'm speaking from experience, you know. I've been in situations where we've come into a half-time break in the lead in the match, and a message is passed along about something, and you go out into the second half and your mind's on that other thing,
so
rather than focusing on what's the job at hand.
Much rather not know.
No, I'd rather not know.
Yeah.
Just go out and control what you can and do your thing. It doesn't matter what's going on elsewhere. Just play your game. And the way Indonesia are going at the moment, it's not like they're in a situation where you've got to sort of give them a kick up of the backside or something. Yeah. You know, they're nice in control. They're doing really well.
Here's Kogi. Now it is Al-Ghazali. Dion Cools goes down, no foul.
Baggett just making sure he was nice and tight there on Dion Cools.
And Malaysia just haven't been able to really make any inroads in this second half thus far. There's lots of movement here. Malaysia are going to make a double change. Be interesting to see the reaction here. This polarizing figure of Guillermo Del Paula is about to make his way onto the pitch. And I think the fans may have just spotted that. Let's see. Oh, it's an open goal! But the whistle went. The whistle went just before the shot was taken by Shafiq. Seemed to be a foul on Nadio. Oh, Shafiq is not taking that well.
Listen up. Keepers are a protected species, aren't they? I'm not sure I really saw anything wrong with that when I first saw it in real time. But let's have a look at this replay here. Just a ball lofted in. There's a bit of an arm from Dion Cools there. My apologies to the referee. Got that one right. Yeah, there were arms up from Dion Cools. Well within his right. It was a foul.
So changes to be made now. Koglaswaran Raj is off, the goal scorer. Yeah, Guillermo Del Paula. Muted, unfortunately for him. Arif Aiman replaced by one of their Malaysian stars, Akia Rashid, who had been out due to COVID complications. He's back in.
Well, Arif has not gone to the bench. He's walking straight off. Straight to... Well, yeah, I think perhaps that's part of the protocols, maybe.
Yeah, he had some good moments, didn't he, Arif? But Akia, I think they're really happy to have him back in the mix.
Interesting one to take off Arif Aiman. I mean, he's looked like one of the more dangerous attackers.
Indonesia about to introduce Kushedia Hariyudo. Well, they were. I'm sure that has been changed now. We'll come back to that in a second.
Yeah, no, sorry. I thought Arif was just going to walk straight down the tunnel, so he's just walked over to where he's supposed to be seated.
They're part of the COVID restrictions,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah,
no,
I thought he was walking straight down the tunnel into the dressing room.
Now, Junior Elstal has gone down here.
Yeah, Dominic Tan's asking for another card here. He knows exactly what he's doing there.
Yeah.
Put the pressure on the referee.
He had no idea of that.
Yeah, but you know, you need to be aware of where people are around you. You can't go around kicking people in the face saying, you know, I had no idea he was there.
He's about that yellow card, remember, Ezra Wallian. Malcolm Baggett with the header away. There's Dion Cools, I should say. Akia, his first touch. Da Paula. With that shot that's blocked. Oh, the header's over, but there was a foul anyway in the process from Shafiq.
Yeah, good marking there from Pratama. An approach play from Malaysia is decent here. They just draw Indonesia into those narrower spaces. The ball falls to Dion Cools. It's a decent cross towards the back post actually, but it's well defended by Pratama. Made sure he tracked his man there, Shafiq, into the box.
19 attempts to 4. Can tell you, by the way, that Junior Elstal has just struggled a little bit. He went down for a short while after that header went over. He's not moving particularly comfortably. Hopefully that's something he can run off. Here's Dion Cools. Scrambled away by Fakhruddin. Now, Dion's just, I think, heading off to get a little bit of treatment, what you're not seeing in your picture at the moment. Oh, sorry, Junior Elstal's getting some treatment. He can't quite do it just yet. Akia with a pretty tame, wide effort. So yeah, Junior Elstal's getting some treatment now, and Indonesia are about to introduce forward Kushedio. Will he come on for Ezra Wallian?
Well, just as Akia took that shot there, he was just being encouraged by Dion Cools to calm down, not to hurry things, not to rush things.
I wonder, Roshan, if this has got that yellow card in mind as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's certainly come into the thinking. But also, I think, you know, fresh legs here. As Malaysia are chasing the game, they will push players forward. A different profile of player coming on.
Kushedia has had one start in this tournament so far, and he had very sad news just the night before he got that first start. His father sadly passed away. He wanted to take a penalty, by the way, in the game against Cambodia, but was told no, he couldn't. It had to be Asnawi, who's the designated penalty taker. I think he wanted to dedicate that goal to his dad, Shin Tae-yong. Making sure that he stayed professional to the last. And there's Pratama, out wide to Irfan. Still looking for his hat-trick, Irfan. That comes off Junior Elstal, who's taking a bit of a knock. And now he goes down.
He's enjoyed himself, Irfan. Wonderful pace, trickery. He's gotten himself into some really good positions. And thankfully for Malaysia, Junior Elstal was in the way there.
There you go. Safawi, Tirasin and Maranyon, who got a hat-trick yesterday against Myanmar, is out of the tournament. So Tirasin, of course, has extended his lead at the top of the scoring charts of the AFF Suzuki Cup in the history of top goal scorers. And Irfan now on 3. Dion Cools. Straight forward, that one. Shafiq right at the goalkeeper now, as he just collided there with Junior Elstal, who's not having it. Was unimpressed.
There was Junior Elstal. There's a bit of a coming together with the goalkeeper. De Paula's getting himself involved in a bit of a debate as well with a couple of the Indonesian players. Let's have a look here. I mean, the first header on from the piala. That's what he's been brought on for, essentially. That he can play it into that big target man. I mean, we know exactly what Nadeo's doing here. Just wasting a bit of time, killing a bit of time there.
Nothing there at all. This is what frustrates people.
His forehead makes a bit of contact with Junior's shin, and he goes down, rolls around, eats away a few more seconds.
Do you feel that's ever made up for at the end?
You were asking me earlier about that cynical side, the professional side, right? This is the kind of thing you want to see, right?
Oh, I don't. I'm just, just asking.
Well, what wonderful work here. I mean, Rahmat, the pass that he plays through and that leave from Ricky Kambuaya is just such intelligent play. Wonderful awareness. And then here, Irfan Jaya getting his second. Witan Sulaiman as well for that first goal, keeping himself onside and having the presence of mind to play a pass back in field. And the technique on this hit. Khairul Fahmi off his line. That sudden dip, giving Indonesia that third goal.
Kushadia's gone down now to the irritation. 6 attempts from him, Irfan, to the irritation on the Malaysian side.
Oh, lovely from Kambuaya.
Here's Pratama. Junior All-Stars there. Alfiandra Dewanga. Here's Irfan. Kushadio, and it's Alkan Baggett who's joined in, and that big frame of his could be useful.
Again, it's good work from Irfan. Just takes his time with it, gets it back onto his right foot. He's able to find Alkan Baggett in the box. Just wanted to say a few things about Ricky Kambuaya. Just been so impressed with him for Indonesia in this competition. The number 15 there. So composed in possession. Wonderful work rate. Such an intelligent player as well. And now the ball has gone down easily, claiming there was an arm across his face. The referee says nothing doing.
Oh, lovely play, interplay there. Oh, was he through? Dominic Tan will go into the book.
Yeah, good work, really good work from Indonesia. The way they broke forward so quickly. Here was Arhan Pratama. He's playing the pass in behind for Irfan. He's late to that challenge, Dominic. Gotten in behind there, Irfan.
Here's Alfred Dewanga. Just stopping a little bit of tussling there between Junior Elston and Fakhruddin. Gone a little bit short. That will be a corner. It's been a little drop in the intensity, hasn't it?
Yeah, but understandably so.
Not surprisingly.
You know, I mean, both these sides have played at a really good tempo, intensity, especially Indonesia, because they forced Malaysia to match them. Because they set such a quick tempo to this match. Malaysia, you've got no choice. You've got to try and match. You've got to try and keep up with them. And now with Indonesia having this 3-1 lead, you know, again, they can just afford to invite that pressure from Malaysia a little bit more.
Yeah, Malaysia have to go for broke. They've got about 20 minutes left in this match. Need, as I said, at least 3 goals to stay in it. And we've just got word, as we watch that shot high and wide from Akia, that Vietnam have made it 4. 4-0 now, and they are ahead on goal difference.
Ball played out to Akia here. He just drifted onto his right-hand side. I wonder if he's actually looking to cross it to his teammates there. Yet Shafiq and Paula in support. Well, just looking at the stats here, and that's been classified as an attempt at goal. So it's 7 attempts for Malaysia, 21 for Indonesia. And the thing is, 6 of those 7 attempts for Malaysia have been outside the box, just the one inside the box.
So we were saying to you earlier, it has been a topsy-turvy evening, hasn't it? Vietnam are now back in front with that 4th goal. Vietnam top of the table. Maybe time to bring on Evan Dimas. He had a bit of an ankle problem coming into this one. Welcome back it away with the ball. Now, this is where they're dangerous. Could he have played advantage? They're not happy, the Indonesians.
Well, another free kick from D. Let's just have a look there. I'll tell you what, it's there's not much in it. It's De Paula who walks into him, Rahmat, and he's taken the opportunity just to go down there. He's coming off anyway, to be replaced by a wonderful player, Evan Dimas.
He's played his part tonight though, hasn't he, Rahmat Irianto?
Yeah, he certainly has.
He's captain of the team, Evan Dimas, regarded as their star player. Seems to be around forever, he's only like 26.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back to the control that Indonesia have had over this game. So I mentioned those 7 attempts from Malaysia, the shots outside the box, 6, 1 inside the box. So they've not really given Malaysia much of a sniff at goal. And for Indonesia, in terms of their attack, 21 attempts, 8 from outside the box, 13 from inside the box.
Remember, Vietnam was something similar as well in terms of a large proportion of their attempts against Indonesia were well outside the box, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right.
I'd be happy with that. Yeah.
Delighted. You know, you want to limit chance quality for the opposition. You want to increase chance quality of your own, and that's what Indonesia have done in this game. They've limited Malaysia to low quality chances, low quality opportunities, and they've created some good chances for themselves.
Well, that'll get a big cheer from the crowd. He's a fan favourite, and now they're trying to bring more firepower on Sharul Fikri. He's going to come on for Malaysia shortly. Been a bit misfiring in this tournament thus far. But they have to do something, don't they? Try it. Be a little bit more incisive. Well, Kushedjo was barreled into, no foul. That is and that's why Pratama's furious.
Listen, Dominic Tan has just gone straight through the back of him there. This referee has been...
Don't be hyperbolic.
You know, in moments like this, the less said, the better, I think.
Well, and also Dominic Tan's on a yellow card.
Ah. Yeah.
I don't know where that came to. Think, oh, how is that not a foul?
I don't even think he's made any contact with the ball. He's gone straight through Kushedio.
So Shafiq to be replaced by Shalul. Presumably will be up there to keep the Paula company, and Dion Cools has moved further and further up the pitch as well.
Well, good to see Kushedia has come back on. Kushedia, how do you do?
There's Irfan. Back from Baggett. Kambuaya, brilliant passing here from Indonesia. They'll go all the way back to their keeper Nadio. Do they want that extra goal? He'll just play it safe for now. He was having a bit of a go there at Fakhruddin.
So as it stands, we're looking at Indonesia, Thailand in the semi-final. Singapore against Vietnam.
Yeah. Malaysia seeing a little bit more of the ball in the second half.
Doesn't matter.
Have they created enough for you?
Doesn't matter. Because touched on the attempts and you're not doing much with the ball. It doesn't matter. And the flow of the game is such that Indonesia are in the lead. So again, as I said, they're quite happy to sit back and play in these situations. Let the opposition have more of the ball. But make yourselves compact and difficult to break down.
Solid there from Snawi. Elkan Baggett. Interesting to see that change at halftime, wasn't it, Roshan? From a back four to now playing three. And it's been pretty seamless for them, for you?
Yeah, just wanted more control in defense. I think, the first half it was really open, very entertaining for us.
Yes.
Wonderful game of football to watch.
Probably didn't do much for the coaches,
but
right?
Yeah, I think, once you've established sort of that lead, you want to try and, he wanted to try and just close things off a little bit, make sure the lines were a little bit more compact, put an extra body at the back there defensively, make yourselves a bit more secure. And it's worked a treat.
Dion Cools, as I said, he's just pushed himself a little bit further up. One back by Irfan, he doesn't think there's a foul. Referee agrees. Now Kushedio, everyone wants to get on the ball. Kind of got in each other's way almost there, Indonesia. There's Fakhruddin. Kushedio. Will Indonesia get that fourth goal to put them back on top? Elkan Baggett. Actually, to be honest with you, Indonesia-Thailand is a pretty tasty affair as well, isn't it? We're looking forward to any of these matchups. Will be fantastic.
They'll meet any challenge head on. This Indonesian side, the mentality, the fight, the attitude that they've shown in this competition so far. They'll do what it takes. I mean, we saw it against Vietnam. They'll stifle our attacking instincts. Oh.
Problem here. Can he finish off Kushedio? Oh, had to get that absolutely right, Shami Safari. He's done well there to get across.
Excellent work. This is just brilliant from Witan Sulaiman. He doesn't give up on this. He doesn't give up on this. Junior L-Style is just wanting for it, begging for it to go out of play, to have enough pace on it to go out of play. Witan's not going to allow it. This is the attitude, the mentality that they've brought this Indonesian squad. And he's trying to set up Kushedia for that unselfishly. Well, I say unselfishly, but it is the right decision. A tough angle for him to actually have a go at goal on his own. A good challenge from Shami Safari. He came steaming across from that left back position. It's been a subject of some debates back home in Malaysia, where they looked at the squad and they've got the 2 AFFs in there who are left backs.
Yeah. Two of the natural left backs. Dimas. Oh, they've got the 4th goal! And it's the big man, Alkan Bagat. Well, now surely the 3 points will go to Indonesia. Joyous scenes.
Sorry, what was interesting for me as the goal went in, yes, there were celebrations on the bench, but straight away you had one of the assistants. Well, let me talk about this goal first. Alkan Bagat, the delivery from Ivan Dimas, his quality right on his head. Khairul Fahmi, again, the decision making in that situation. Does he have to come out and punch? Can he stay on his line? Is Alkan Bagat being marked? He is. But he backs himself. He thinks he's going to come out and meet that Khairul Fahmi. Instead, Alkan Bagat's the one who gets his head on it with that height advantage. Back in the squad, back in the team. And I think Indonesia back on top here.
He was in quarantine for the last few days. This guy will be absolutely delighted he had his father, I hear, come down from London to come and watch him. He flew in late into the tournament and he's got a goal. But Rushan, sorry,
yeah,
you were making a point.
Just let me go back to what happened on the bench. And as that went, we're hearing some of the Indonesian fans. Well, the moment the goal went in, yes, there were celebrations from the staff on the bench, but straight away you had one of the assistants running over to Shin Tae-yong, and I wonder if he was telling him, I think with that 4th goal now, we're back on top.
And there you go.
And that's confirmation
right on
of that.
cue. There you go. There you go, Rushan. And that is probably the cream on top now for Indonesia, though of course there's still time. Vietnam just need another goal. Remember, it could be a very interesting last few minutes here. But there's no doubt now that Indonesia will indeed go through from Group B. And it will be the first time that Malaysia have lost to Indonesia here in Singapore. After 4 draws and a win. That win 3-1 in this particular tournament in 1996, the semi-final. They've had a very good record here, and that looks like it's about to end. First time they've played here in Singapore, or neutral ground I should say, 22 years, these 2 countries. And the last time they did that was in Brunei in 1999, the SEA Games, where Indonesia thrashed Malaysia 6-0, and this is looking like a bit of a thrashing as well. That's a Dion Cools. They're all joining in. Cools again. Didn't get the ball to Akia. Are they hungry for more? Kusheja. And a foul on Kambuaya. Dominic Tan is down. Tan Cheng Ho has been a one moment of stability for the side, hasn't he, Rush, in the last few years since he's taken over. He's brought a very young side, and there is a feeling that he's trying to regenerate as well. Some circumstances forced upon him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is... Offside flag has gone up, so I can complete my sentence now. I don't think this is Malaysia's strongest possible squad that they could have brought here. And that's something I've said for quite a while now. We're doing our previews, and in the build-up to this competition, you looked at the squad, and it's not the strongest possible squad. But, you know, fans will still expect results from you. Fans will still expect performances from you. And ultimately, it looks like they've not been able to really deliver with all the difficulties they've had. But Tan Cheng Ho, I think, in general, the job that he's done with Malaysia on the international scene has been encouraging. When he's had a full squad available to him, when he's had his options available to him, they've looked good in certain situations. I thought they were quite impressive in World Cup qualifying in their group. It's just been a tough campaign, and you can sometimes look at these campaigns and end up feeling really negative about the whole situation surrounding your national team. But you know, things can really change very quickly. You've got to have a bit of perspective, I think.
Well, I can tell you, despite some of the younger players have come in, as they get that away now, Witan Sulaiman. Look at the sheer pace there from Evan Dimas, who will of course know a number of these players from his time playing in Malaysia. And he really has made himself indispensable to this side. Evan Dimas, 26 as I mentioned, team captain. He's one of the oldest players here. Well, talking of age, this is you take out the three minnows, Timor-Leste, Laos and Cambodia. Indonesia have the next youngest side here on average. 23.8 years on average this side. Malaysia the fourth oldest at 26.08 years. And that's after bringing a slightly younger squad. The hand was forced a little bit there. The two older sides are Singapore and then Thailand. We're into added time, by the way, in the other game. And Vietnam, as of now, are going to stunningly finish second in this group. Witan Sulaiman, unfortunate for him. Going to be a final change for Malaysia. Dominic Tyan had a bit of a problem. He's off. And Quentin Cheng, who also was isolated, well, there he is, he's limping off. Who had issues as well with COVID. Comes in, 22-year-old who plays for Penang. Born in Australia. And just his second cap for his country. Delightful ball, but Irfan uncharacteristically fails to control it. Given away Evan Dimas. We're going to get 4 minutes of added time. Well, we can tell you the prayers have been answered because Vietnam have finished their game. Pratama with one of those throws straight at Karafami. Going to be a couple of cameos for Indonesia. If they can keep a clean sheet in this second half, they will finish top of the group. There's Alcon Baggett. Now Evan Dimas. Cheng up to Da Paula. We talked about Russian, with all the changes they've made and getting a little bit more of the ball. They haven't created enough, have they? Those chances, high quality opportunities.
Yes, and I think one of the disappointing aspects of the play will be that They've not had a cutting edge and not been incisive enough. There's not been enough creativity in this side. Safawi, of course, going off
I was going to say,
injured is a big blow. And then taking off Arif as well was a little bit of a strange one for me.
What about this Indonesia side tonight? Have really put themselves now in contention, Roshan?
They've really impressed me throughout this competition.
That will be a corner. Comes off Junior Elstal. And now those changes for Indonesia. He will get a great ovation here, Irfan, for those 2 wonderful goals. And it's just his energy today. Anis Sagara Putra replaces him. Yabes Roni, another quick, powerful player.
The substitute has been taken off.
Yeah, Caserio, I wonder, he had a couple of knocks. I wonder if that was it. Powerful header away by Junior Elstal. It's all academic now. One final push. Dion Cools is brought down. Kambuaya goes into the book. Final opportunity for Malaysia to get on the score sheet. Of course, it won't matter for them, but it could matter for Indonesia. As they look to get it clear, Alfiandra De Jonga. Witan Sulaiman tussling there with the ball with Quentin Cheng. Oh, well done there to Kambuaya. Yabes Roni. Now the new man, Hannes. Oh, that's a delightful ball by Witan. And it's over, hits the crossbar from Evan Dimas. But it's a fitting way to end what has been by far the most entertaining, enthralling game we've had at the AFF Suzuki Cup 2020.
Fantastic from Indonesia. Irfan Jaya celebrating there. Pratama as well on his knees, thumping the badge on his chest. What a wonderful performance from this young, exciting, talented Indonesian side.
너무 기분이 좋습니다.
The message that I gave to my boys before the start of the match was even if we concede a goal earlier, don't panic. Just try to keep playing as the way that we've been practicing. And then I also gave them an example of when I was a head coach of the Korean national team. We participated in this competition in Japan 2017. What happened was we conceded a goal first, so 1-0 to Japan. But then the same message went to the players. Don't panic, just keep playing the way you do, the way we've been practicing. And then the final score was 4-1. So what a coincidence. Today, the same thing happened.
Going by the group stages, what are some of the key areas of Indonesia's team you are looking to improve into the knockout stage?
So going into the knockout stage.
Yes. What are the key areas that you're looking to improve?
Okay. 지금 knockout stage 지금 세미파이널 준결승 올라가셨는데 어떤 부분을 좀 더 그 임프루브 좀 더 발전시킬 것인지.
지금 이제 가장 중요한 것은 체력 회복을 빨리 하는 것이 가장 관건이고, 이제 우리가 싱가포르하고 붙기 때문에 싱가포르에 대해서 이제 좀 더 연구해서 부족한 점을 그게 맞게끔 보완할 수 있게끔 준비하겠습니다.
the first and foremost, what's the most important to us is for the players to recover from the group stage matches. And as far as I know, our opponent in our semi-final will be against Singapore. So we will definitely do analysis on the team, and then we'll prepare ourselves accordingly.
Thank you, coach, and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coach, derby Nusantara malam ini milik Indonesia. Komen coach untuk perlawanan malam ini dan keseluruhan kempen pasukan Malaysia dalam kejohanan AFF kali ini?
Ya, memang kami rasa kecewalah tentang pasukan kita tidak layak ke peringkat separuh akhir kerana perlawanan malam ini cukup penting kita untuk menanglah, tetapi akhirnya kita tidak berjaya mengawal intensiti yang tinggi daripada corak permainan Indonesia. Itu menyebabkan kita diborosi gol-gol yang banyak daripada kesilapan individu juga.
Saingan Malaysia terhenti di peringkat kumpulan. Tanggungjawab kolektif atau coach merasakan ianya digalas oleh coach sendiri?
Ya, of course, as a coach saya bertanggungjawab tentang pasukan tidak layak ke peringkat separuh akhir, dan juga kita perlulah kena tahu kedatangan kita dengan situasi tersebut, dan sebagai jurulatih saya akan move on lah whatever situation, dan kita kena come back very strong lah next year.
Okay, thank you coach.
Okay, thank you.